Здесь 1750 метров. Сосновый лес. Вы сами видите, как здесь тяжело дышать. Как только спускаемся, нам становится легче. Задача ведь такая. Тяжело в учении, легко в бою. Я думаю, эти сборы дадут ребятам последняя подготовка. Ислама Макхачева здесь. Хабиб еще, наверное, успеет.
Let's do the punching bag, the horizontal bar, the deadlift bar over there, and so on. There's 17 pieces of perfect. 55 kilograms or more. Everyone stood next to each other, one at a time. We work for 30 seconds, then rest for 30. We work for 30, that's the system. Come on. Everyone stand. Hey, Mom, what's wrong? 55. Sit down. I told you, 55.
Father invest everything what he have. He give us good education, and he give us good opportunity to learn in good schools, university. He invest everything what he have. All his life, he was investing people, and this is very big motivation for me. Even now, when I'm finished, right now, I'm trying to invest my close people, because this is best investment. I can live for myself. I can do whatever I want in the world. I can buy any house in the world, but don't give me good energy. This is not who I am. This is not what my father teach me.
On October 24th, 2020, Khabib Nurmagomedov entered the octagon carrying a championship and a promise. 113 days earlier, his father and lifelong coach, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, had died in Moscow. Now Khabib was fighting Justin Gaethje without him. He pressured Gaethje from the opening seconds, took him down and submitted him with a triangle choke in the second round. Then the undefeated champion moved to the center of the cage, collapsed onto the canvas, and wept. When Khabib finally stood, he announced that he was finished. His mother had not wanted him to continue without Abdulmanap, and he had promised her this would be his final fight.
I want to say, it was my last fight. And no way I'm gonna come here without my father. It was first time when, after what happened with my father, when UFC called me about Justin, I talked with my father, my mother, 3 days. She don't wanna I go fight without father, but I promise her it's gonna be my last fight. And if I give my word, I have to follow this.
Khabib retired at 29-0. Still holding the UFC lightweight championship, because the person around whom his career had been built was gone. For a moment, it looked as though Abdulmanap's dynasty had ended with him. His greatest fighter had followed him out of the sport, and the man expected to come next had never fought for a UFC title. But 6 years later, Islam Makhachev is the UFC welterweight champion, and Khabib is the coach standing in his corner. Abdulmanap had not simply created a champion, he had created a system capable of producing another one after he was gone. Abdulmanap was born in 1962 in Sildi, a small mountain village in Dagestan. He began with freestyle wrestling, then expanded into judo and Sambo. Long before the UFC knew his family's name, he was already producing elite competitors. He eventually became an honored coach of Russia, and in 2019, he was recognized by the Russian Book of Records after developing 18 combat Sambo world champions. The number was extraordinary, but it did not explain how he did it. Dagestan already possessed generations of elite wrestlers, demanding coaches and families who viewed combat sports as a path to discipline, status, and opportunity. To name a few, Ali Aliyev, the pioneer, 5 times world champion, first wrestler from Dagestan to win a world title, UWW Hall of Fame, competed at 3 Olympics, although surprisingly never won an Olympic medal. Vladimir Yumin, best overall competitive resume, 1976 Olympic champion, 4 times world champion, 1-time world silver, 1-time world bronze, and UWW Hall of Fame. Zagalov Abdulbekov, Dagestan's first Olympic champion, 2 times world champion, world bronze at 1969, 4 times Soviet champion, first Olympic wrestling champion from Dagestan. Abdulmanap did not invent that culture. he learned how to organize it. At his UFC Hall of Fame induction, Khabib described the scale of his father's commitment. Abdulmanap sold the family home and moved Khabib, his brother, his cousins, and other young relatives toward better athletic and educational opportunities in the capital.
My father, he bring us from village. He sell his house, he sell our house, and he bring me, my brother, my cousins. Like it was like almost 15 people from village to capital city. We was eat together. We was like going school, come back, training, come back. Just father try to invest everything what they have, time, energy, money. He invest us. This house has become 6 world champion, UFC champion. You know, a lot of champions and very good people. Because father invest everything what he have. He give us good education, and you know, like he give us good opportunity to learn in good schools, university. You know, he invest everything what he have. All his life he was investing people.
Before there was an undefeated UFC champion, there was a coach bringing young fighters under one roof and teaching them that their development was a shared project. That environment was the foundation of Abdulmanap's system. His fighters trained wrestling, judo, sambo, submissions, striking, and conditioning. But there was no single secret technique. The advantage was the room. A move that worked once would soon be recognized. Training partners learned the counter, forced an adjustment, and tested the improved version. Weaknesses were exposed before an opponent could expose them under the lights. Exhaustion was expected. Technical competence was normal. Even champions remained accountable because the people around them had known them before the belts. Abdulmanap's leading fighters shared the same principles, but they were not copies. Khabib often forced opponents backward until the fence removed their space. From there, he trapped their legs, controlled their wrists, and made every attempt to escape create another opening. Islam developed a different expression of the same control-first approach, combining cleaner striking at distance with judo trips, reactive takedowns, and connected submission attacks. The system gave them a common understanding of pressure and control, then allowed each fighter to solve problems in his own way. Khabib became the first result the world could no longer ignore. He finished his career undefeated, won the UFC lightweight championship, and defended it 3 times. His opponents knew what he wanted. They recruited wrestlers, drilled takedown defense, and prepared for pressure against the cage. Then the fight began, and Khabib imposed the same threat anyway. But when he later described his success, he placed Abdulmanap at the center of the story. At his Hall of Fame induction, Khabib spoke about what his father had sold, risked, and invested in the people around him. He treated his career not as an isolated achievement, but as proof that his father's work had succeeded. One undefeated son, however, could still be explained as an exceptional relationship between one father and one rare athlete. For Abdulmanap's work to survive, the system needed to produce someone after Khabib. Abdulmanap believed that fighter was already beside him.
Я думаю, у меня есть несколько талантливых ребят. А ближе всех Islam Makhachev. Вместе дома, с семьей, на сборах, на соревнованиях. Могут быть по всем таким отношениям? Нет. Это уже больше, чем учение.
Islam Makhachev had trained with Khabib for years and developed under many of the same influences, but his route through the UFC was slower. In 2015, during his second fight in the promotion, Islam suffered a first-round knockout loss. He returned and began winning, but spent years outside the center of the title picture. Through that period, Abdulmanap continued telling him that after Khabib retired, Islam would become champion. Islam later recalled that his coach had repeated the prediction long before the title appeared close.
I want to say, this my belt for my coach, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov. Many years ago, he told me, just training hard and you gonna be champion.
The succession plan existed before the result. Then, Abdulmanap died before he could see it completed. On July 3, 2020, he passed away at the age of 57, following serious complications connected to COVID-19. Less than 4 months later, Khabib defeated Gaethje and retired. The founder was gone. His greatest fighter was leaving. His chosen successor had never competed for a UFC championship. This was where the structure should have broken. Instead, Khabib changed roles. He took control of Islam's camps and accepted responsibility for completing the plan Abdulmanap had left unfinished. In October 2022, Islam faced Charles Oliveira, for the vacant UFC lightweight championship. Oliveira entered on an 11-fight winning streak after finishing Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, and Justin Gaethje in consecutive championship-level performances. He was one of the most dangerous submission artists in UFC history. Islam did not avoid Oliveira's strongest area. He dropped him, followed him to the ground, and submitted him with an arm triangle choke in the second round. Abdulmanap's prediction had become real. What happened next made the transfer of responsibility visible. Islam dedicated the championship to Abdulmanap, removed the belt, and attempted to give it to Khabib.
And I want to give this belt. This is him and his father make me, I know.
The father had trained the son had coached the successor, and the successor had fulfilled a prediction made by a man who had been dead for more than 2 years. Islam then proved he was more than a continuation of Khabib's career. He defended the lightweight championship 4 consecutive times, setting a divisional record. He defeated Alexander Volkanovski twice, submitted Dustin Poirier, and overcame a late opponent change against Renato Moicano. In 2025, he vacated the lightweight belt and moved to welterweight. Against Jack Della Maddalena, Islam controlled 5 rounds, won every round on all 3 scorecards, and became the 11th fighter in UFC history to capture championships in 2 weight classes. Abdulmanap never saw Islam win either belt, but the fighter he selected became the champion he predicted, and the son he raised became the coach required to finish the work. The next generation offers less perfect but equally revealing evidence. Umar Nurmagomedov reached a UFC bantamweight title fight, suffered his first professional defeat, and returned with 2 victories. Usman Nurmagomedov remained undefeated and defended the PFL lightweight championship by stopping Archie Colgan in the first round. Neither man fights exactly like Khabib or Islam. The system survived by transferring standards, not creating copies. None of this means Abdulmanap deserves sole credit for everything that followed. Khabib and Islam developed further at American Kickboxing Academy under Javier Mendez and alongside elite training partners outside Dagestan. Their achievements also belong to their own discipline, intelligence, and decision-making. Dagestan's wrestling culture existed before Abdulmanap and continues through coaches and clubs with no connection to his family. Not every successful Dagestani fighter belongs to this lineage, and a shared surname or grappling style is not enough to make every victory part of one man's legacy. Abdulmanap's achievement was not creating champions alone. It was combining existing culture, individual talent, family trust, education, and collective discipline into a structure other people could continue operating. Its techniques could be copied. The relationships, authority, and responsibility behind them could not. Most coaches leave behind techniques, memories, and stories told by former students. Abdulmanap left an obligation. The champion was expected to remember who built him. The student was expected to become a teacher, and each generation was expected to prepare the next one. At UFC 254, Khabib's retirement looked like the end of Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov's dynasty. In hindsight, it was the moment the dynasty faced its first real test. The founder was gone. The champion could no longer remain only a champion. Someone had to carry the work forward. Abdulmanap had spent his life preparing them to do exactly that. What is the type of region you like fighters emerging from? Is it more wrestling or striking based? Leave a comment below and subscribe for more researched stories about the people, systems, and decisions that shaped the fight game.